Hi, Chris Madsen here. We are living in a world where, quote unquote, science has told us many stories about explosions and things coming from nothing and gradually evolving and all of these things. Then on the other hand, there's a story that from the more religious and what people call non-science, it's faith-based, saying that there is a God. God created it all, and then from there, all the different tapestries of beliefs happen. Well, there was a God, or there is a God, but uses evolution and all of these things. And this is a big moment now for many. The grand awakening is occurring. And what I would like to share is light and truth on this whole thing. First off, space. Replace that word with awareness or consciousness. Now, in your own life, if you really go within and ask yourself questions, the truth is always right here. And the truth is that within your own being, you are aware. Ask yourself the question right now, am I aware? There'll be a check, and then yes, I am aware. That part of, not part, that is you. That is who you are. That is that which anything you're aware of is changing. It's like a movie going on and on. The aspect of you that is pure awareness is unchanging. It's always, when you have a dream, you go, oh, man, I had a dream last night. I dreamt blah, blah, blah. You were observing the dream, the awareness that you are. To the point where if you are observing it, it is passing by your awareness, but it is not the awareness itself. It would be like saying, in this room, I have a carpet, I have walls, I have shelves and chairs. These things are within the room, but you take all those away, the room is still here, or the space is still here. Now, within us, you have thoughts, but you're not those thoughts. As soon as you stop thinking, like when you're going to sleep, those thoughts, in between the thoughts, but yet your awareness is always there. You're not your emotions. You're not your body. You are aware of your body. This awareness is so powerful that literally you have never experienced or been aware of anything outside of you, outside of your awareness. Think about that. There is nothing outside of your awareness. Say if you look out and there's a tree across the street, where are you observing that? It's within your awareness. and this is essential to knowing truth, is because what would be called in the religions God, in the Christian religion they would say, I am. In the Upanishads, they use words like Brahman, Atman, things of this nature. Whatever we use for words, they're not the thing itself, because the words are stuff within, right? And so now here is the most essential aspect of this. There is one awareness, one pure consciousness, one mind, the Alpha, the Omega, one awareness that is never changing. What we consider time to this awareness, this infinite awareness, time doesn't even exist. It doesn't think this, then that. It's all for the prime first cause, the source, this pure awareness, consciousness. It would be like, say, if you had a book, and the whole book is there it is. Now you can turn to different pages and read the book. Or you can have a DVD with a movie on it, and you can put it in and watch it play and bounce back and forth. But yet, the reality is, the whole book is there. All existence, the whole DVD is there. All that within this realm, what we consider time, it's already all happened, and on to this awareness. Because time is simply activities within the awareness. Space is simply this awareness. That's why it can so honestly be said, time and space don't exist. So we say then, well, what do you mean? Right now you're moving one hand. Later, now you're moving this hand. This is what I mean, is that where we as awareness are processing this information, we're using a mind. And for body senses and things, we're also using a brain, and we're also using a heart. All of these are sources of converting the electromagnetic energy within the awareness in this realm. And so, to the mind, there appears in this realm, using our senses and our mind, that there is a continuum of time and that there is space. But from pure awareness, all of that is within itself now. It would be like saying, because we've all been programmed so well into believing that space exists, think of all that is within space is now, right? Everything that exists materially is in space. And so even though you're in a room and you can only see a little bit, yet it's all actually there. It's just that your mind is not processing it all. And so in order to truly understand the sciences and religion, we have to first come to this knowing. And I'm not asking you to believe what I'm saying, because it's not about belief. It's what is. There is pure awareness, and all that occurs within it. Simple. So now the materialist, what we have been programmed for centuries, and I will state that there has been a very dark force at play on this realm to keep us into materialism and not knowing exactly what I'm saying. What I am saying is so important and so powerful that for millennia it has been suppressed and on and on. Whole tribes massacred, whole bodies of awakened beings massacred because of this. In order for people to believe that there is an external deity out there somewhere that you're separate from, and that you can, if you pray the right prayers and have the right beliefs, maybe you can connect. But in the meantime, here on earth, you are basically powerless, so obey all authorities. And the authorities know best, so what they're teaching you in the colleges and schools and universities, and if they've got a PhD or whatever, they know what's going on, right? That is what's gone on, materialism. And so what they're doing is they're studying the effects and then basing conclusions on that. And the truth is, we are the one pure awareness, and as this pure awareness, we're in a realm on the earth. And collectively, what we are is converting from this pure awareness using the instrumentation of our bodies, our body temples, and our minds and our hearts. We're creating a world upon the earth. So the template for the earth was and is straight from pure awareness. The I am, the Alpha and Omega, the source, prime first cause, consciousness. Whatever word you use to describe it, you're throwing it into a box for the mind, and the mind by default cannot go there. The only thing that can go there is you yourself, your pure awareness. And you can't observe your pure awareness because whatever you are observing is the pure awareness observing out. It's exactly like a flashlight. If I turn off all the lights in this room and I have a flashlight, I can look out at things. And so whatever I'm seeing in the light, I'm observing. The one thing the flashlight cannot do is turn on itself and observe its own bulb. Right? It's exactly like that. The flashlight, it can know itself not by observation, but simply by being. Between your thoughts. Even when you're in a deep sleep, when there's doesn't seem to be any thoughts going on in that's your pure awareness without using the converters within you, which is your eyes, ears, even your mind, on and on, right? All of that is converting the pure awareness that you are into processing and observing this realm, this dimension. And that's what that is. So now, at this time, there is, upon the earth, people are waking up. They're waking up to all sorts of things. Yet, until they wake up to this one truth, nothing else will make sense. Because as soon as you're trying to find truth, why the sun does this, or the moon does this, or on and on, what's going on here, who am I? Until you understand that it's all within consciousness. It's not material. It's consciousness. It's awareness. Replace the word space with awareness, and you've got it. Replace the word time with activities within the consciousness. And all that is what we would call the earth, that is a vision within Source itself. There are qualities of this unchanging eternal being. By eternal, it means forever now. It's out. The mind can't grab this, and so don't even go there. But yet, the aspect of you that is the real you knows this, even when it doesn't, because even when you're not aware that you are awareness, you're still aware. You could be all caught up in the 3D matrix and dramas and believing the stories and getting triggered, whatever, But yet, the observer part of you never has a bad day. It doesn't even sleep. It's simply observing it all. That's who you are. Now, the aspect of you, the mind, that aspect of you is not you any more than your hand is you. If your hand were cut off, heaven forbid, you would still be you, right? You're not even your body. You're not your thoughts. And so upon the death of the body temple, rather than dissolving, you actually expand. You become one with it again. And then this is a whole nother thing. It's probably not the place to get into this, but within what you could say a hologram, the aspect of you that is you remains. And so, it's not to say that we don't have some sort of karma repercussions from what's been done in our journey here, things of that nature. As one great teacher said, there are many mansions within my Father's house. So what I'm saying here right now, wherever your beliefs are, that this fits in. Because if you have a belief that, in the Christian belief, Jesus, God, all of this what I'm speaking about then is the I am, the creator. And that, you are made in the image of God, which means you are this pure awareness as well. If you are a materialistic scientist, is it not foolishness to actually believe that out of nothing you can create something? And in your own personal experience, even as an atheist that just, there's a material world, you can answer it yourself. You are aware. You are consciousness. Have you ever known anything to be created out of nothing? Yet out of your consciousness, out of your thoughts, much is created. Everything. That's where it comes from. And so what I'm saying is not putting one camp against another. Rather, it is dissolving the beliefs and raising up into the reality, the truth of what is. When we talked about the flat earth is what is. Now, it's a realm, right? So we don't have to get charged about, oh yeah, well, we'll talk about the globe in a second. People ask, well, what's above the dome then? Or what's below? Or what's beyond the ice wall? And the answer is, what has this pure awareness chosen within the creative force to manifest or create, to bring into being, right? And if there's not a point of awareness, consciousness, aware of it, it doesn't exist, because it's all within awareness. There are many dimensions. We don't have to put space into this. Many realms, dimensional beings. Again, say in the Bible, they talk about angels, and in other traditions, there's the genies. There's more reptilian forces, Anunnaki, Nephilim, demonic forces, all these things, right? Now, they don't have to be from way out somewhere else. They're simply dimensions, such as there are critters like marmots that live pretty well all their life underground. There's other critters that live in water. There's others that live in air. It's dimensional. There doesn't have to be, like, for instance, aliens from other planets. It's all dimensional. And by dimensional, what we can say is that simply, if awareness has the instrumentation to observe it, it can exist. It can. So, for instance, there is much discussion about what is beyond the ice wall. We know that Admiral Byrd found warmer lands. It appears there's another sun farther away, on and on. If there is awareness, consciousness, maybe physical bodies, maybe not. Whatever there is, then there is, if there's awareness, there's something to be aware of. There's laws in this dimension, or this aspect of the creative force, is one, wherever awareness is, it defaults to have the instrumentation to be aware of that. Such as, even when you're dreaming, right? You could be dreaming, say you're flying above the clouds, right? In your dream, you've got the instrumentation to observe all this. Yet, it's not real It's not there in that sense, right? And so you are the pure screen that all the projections of the movie are shining on. And so when we discuss the globe or flat earth and different things like that, the question really shouldn't be, which one scientifically, well, you can ask that, is, the flat earth comes out all the time. But rather than that question, it really should be, I am awareness. What am I observing? Right? And as we do, we observe water is always level. Right? As far as you take, like I remember growing up, and they're saying that the earth is a globe because ships go over, and the ocean. I lived by the ocean, and sure enough, it's so far. But it wasn't until later that I realized, hey, all you have to do is get a telescope or even binoculars. And these days they have really fancy zooms. And there it goes. It's right back appearing again. And so the bigger question, though, is it's all within the pure awareness, right? It's all here. And so why was this lie about the globe? Because that's really where we're at now for most of us anyway in the discussion. It's not, is it a globe? Because it's obvious it's not. But if you're not there yet, that's fine. Space is simply awareness, right? And the awareness, the creative force, could just as easily make a globe spinning around a sun, and all that, because this pure awareness can do whatever it wants, But it's simply the reality is that all the evidence is towards the flat earth. And so the bigger question then is, well, what is and why? Who, what, why, where, when? The who is pure awareness. The what is we are in a realm called the earth. Why is so that we can experience love, duality, experience paradise on earth. Here we go, right? And the consequences of unique actions if we turn away from the truth, the reality that we are divine beings, pure awareness on the earth. And so that takes us right to the difference between the earth and the world. The earth is what prime first cause has created, which is a beautiful paradise, pure water, pure skies, pure symbiotic relationships, a perfect environment for man and other critters and things, to flora and fauna, to just absolutely have a beautiful paradise. The world is what man has created upon the earth. And so trees and mountains and all these gorgeous things, the flowers, all that, that's the earth. The world is what man has placed on it, such as the earth does not have borders, but the world does. Banking systems, monarchies, hierarchies, all the systems, education, banking, all of that are the world, not the earth. And so the earth has become a reflection of the collective consciousness of the world that man has created. And so by returning to the source, to this pure awareness within your own being, that is how we get out of this whole thing. That's Shambhala, the return. We don't need to physically go to the North Pole. We can do it right here within our own beings. There's a quality that happens as we meditate, and a phrase that I've coined called levitation. As we do this, we return to the pure awareness, recognizing that all that we are experiencing are activities within the awareness. They come and go. That which is real never changes. So as we become aware of this, what happens is we enter the now. The mind, the converter, it's always dancing around, anywhere but now. You sit to meditate and just be in the breath, in the pure bliss, the mind will come in like wild horses, right? And so, because we're not our mind, though, we can still the mind. But what happens is as we return to the now, the pure awareness, peace, love, gentleness, tenderness, compassion, joy, serenity, healing, all of these qualities of love manifest in our lives. Solutions to every problem. And the reason is because the only problems we have in the world is separation from the return to who we really are. And now I pray and I vision, and as I'm praying, what I'm praying to is the greater self, as as I am using my mind from this particular point, right? You know, I'm just seeing, I'm like a little speck floating within the whole ocean, right? Even though I am the ocean, at this moment, I am in forgetfulness. So I allow, a Christian would be calling that praying to God. You know, a scientist, you know, the Church of Scientism could call that deep reflection, inner knowing, whatever you want. Any path will take you here to where I'm talking about. And when you are here, you're no longer separate. So all the love, you have arrived. And so it's not outside, it's within. It's all the awareness. And so if wherever you're at in your journey as far as beliefs, you really don't have much of a chance of knowing, recognizing, understanding truth until you understand this. Right? You know, once you understand this, it's like all the other pieces just come together. So with that, I encourage you to not use the mind, but use the pure awareness, knowing that all our activities within it, and from there, pursue, let the mind dance and research and enjoy the ride. Thank you for listening. We collectively are awakening, And this is almost like the linchpin, you could say, the one truth that opens the floodgates to make everything else settle in, including the knowing that we are on a flat plane.